Hey, we is live and we got some guests. Y'all. So this just hopped off. I guess he'll hop back on when he gets a chance. But before we get into our bullshit, because y'all know how we do, and it goes left real quick. Let's give a shout out to your boy Said. We done gave him some shout outs in the past. He's my trainer. If you're here in the Birmingham area, look him up. You need some help. But he and this, who I'm about to add back on screen, also has a podcast on YouTube. So I'm going to let y'all tell the people about that real quick before we get into the madness for tonight.
Go ahead, Sid. I'll let you handle that one.
All right. Well, first, good evening to everybody. You know, I go by your boy Sid. This is the host of the show. This is Dysfunctional's World. And collectively, we are Thoughts from Your Boy podcast. We are a safe space podcast. Anyone can come on. Anyone can say whatever it is that you want pertaining to the topic. We listen and we don't judge. Literally, you know. We have a call-in number. We try to cover a multitude of topics. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have a good creative way to talk about it, then let's do it. Nothing is too taboo as long as you can do it creatively. And that's just what we do, you know.
What you got? What's the call-in number? What's the call-in number? Put that out there.
It changes. Yeah, it changes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, it's on the other line. It's a text line.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. My bad. Can give you the number now if I don't have it, right?
I feel you. I gotta check out the show to get the number to be able to call in.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We
absolutely check out the show. All right, share the link.
Make sure you share the link so that we can tune in. Your boy Said is always supportive of us. We appreciate that. We've got to do some more collabs. Yep, we definitely do. Welcome though. And
I was gonna say we got one coming up. We trying to put something together, so we have one coming up with me and your boy Said. We're gonna do it solo the first time, then we're gonna tag all of us in for the part 2 because we think it's gonna be a really dope conversation. Actually, piggybacking off of some stuff off of their episode last week, where we talked about religion and do men listen to women and hear women's opinions, and whole space from a whole bunch of stuff came up, y'all. Okay, so I told him that Gypsy and Sean was gonna be like on point when it came to that discussion. So we'll keep y'all posted, okay? We'll keep you posted, but that should be going live in the next week or so. But Gypsy, take it away because this is your baby tonight. You want to get into part 2 of this layered pettiness talk.
Yes, this is part 2 of the layered pettiness because so one of the things is that I've noticed that pettiness tends to come out only with certain people. There's other people that I feel like, you know, you're petty, but my pettiness doesn't need to match yours right now. You know? We got a little feedback going on. And so anyway, why is that? Why is it that you think that certain people can provoke that pettiness and other people?
I think it's personally because it depends on the relationship between the people. The closer people are to you, the more you allow them to irritate you.
That's what I said. The more you like a person or love a person, like just me, if I really care about you and you do some foul stuff to me, yeah.
Get back game on point. Yeah.
then it's so easy for me to just write. And even if I care, like I haven't met a person yet that I couldn't cut off. But if I care, it's just gonna sting a little bit for you. I think there's something to that. The more you care, the more you love them, the more you like them, it bothers you. Like if a troglodyte that you just dealing with and you just occupying time and space give you grief, you're like, fuck on, there's somebody else out there. But if that person you really been pining after, or you really been loving for a long time, hurt you, cheat, talk sideways to you, crazy, that's the one you need to stab. You ain't gonna do it. I would never do it because I don't look good in over. But it bring those thoughts up. You know what I'm saying?
So you just talk about pettiness between couples?
Just in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friendship, relationships, like love and hate for me is on the same spectrum. I think all emotion occupies a frequency, and it's just which end of the spectrum are you existing in. So it's all passion, it's all feeling. So I can love you, but if you hurt me as a person, that love can twist and become perverted into something else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
If I don't really care, like I ain't really that over there. You gotta say it.
Absolutely.
Besides, ladies, because he might serenade you. That's all I'm saying.
No, but if that's his serenade, you might want to cut it.
I mean, that wasn't like I was trying. I wasn't trying to sing. I was just saying because she said that, and it's the truth. It is a thin line between love and hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
it is.
You know, that's just
I agree.
You know that it's the same emotion. It's just a different end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Facts. Whole facts. But I think it's all about the perception. How do you think it's gonna make you look to other people? Who knows? Who's involved? And I think a lot of times we let that ego part of self really take over if we're concerned about how other people are going to respond to what happened.
But see, that's why you don't sit there and put people in your business. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day when you know the old folks were going through some stuff, we didn't know about it. We had no clue.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody know about it.
Right.
Now, Sean, if you come out the house and your eyes closed shut like this, you think don't nobody know that you got something going on at the house?
Well, I mean, but I think he talking about more like if you get cheated on or something like that. Don't nobody know about that until you make it. Until people like to play victim, and then
they know. Oh no, they knew. They knew you could have a whole family that lived around the corner that were your. Yes, they knew.
Hold on, everybody. Can everybody check their connection? Because I am getting a ton of feedback.
Right. Everybody check your phone.
Yeah. Close. If you got any open pages,
put my volume down. But other than that, I ain't got it playing nowhere else.
Volume down. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if that helps because it was bouncing back. I couldn't hear what y'all were saying anymore. What were you saying, Gypsy?
I was saying that there were people that had whole families that lived in the same neighborhood, and everybody knew that there were whole families that lived around the corner. Come on now. Come on now. You really think that people didn't know? They knew. It's just that they weren't talked about as much as they are now.
Yeah.
Broadcasted on social media like it's a badge. It's not a badge. Like, that's stupid.
That's my
point. I wouldn't run around and telling everybody that, oh, my husband is in the street. My husband's for the streets. What?
That's my point.
And we see it all the time.
Yeah, you just reinforced my point.
When I found out he was for the streets, I said, well, to the streets you go.
But see,
did you kick him out?
Yes.
The thing is, though, people like to play victim. So whenever anything happens to them, they want to put it on Front Street. They want to run straight to social media. They want everybody to know that they're a victim of some sort. Back in the day,
they're looking for that
what
victim.
You were just talking about, like somebody had a family around the corner, and it wasn't no big thing. Well, she wasn't playing victim. She wasn't.
Well, that's because he also was taking care of home. That's the difference too between those men and these simps that we have now. How you gonna not be able to take care of the family you already have, and then have the nerve to have another partial family, and you can't even pay the daggone light bill at the house that you live in?
I'm going to get milk. I'll be back.
Woo.
Shut up, Sean.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's true though.
We say need a Kit Kat, huh? Need a break.
I mean, that is the difference, because the thing is that yes, the tolerance level was different then, but the tolerance level was different because the men were taking care of the house.
That
How are you gonna ask me to go half on bills, and then you out here straggling the fence, and you can't even go half on the daggone dinner?
That wasn't always the case.
Josh, you don't think so?
Trust me. I know so. I know so. Trust me.
Not for everybody, I agree with you, but there were a lot of households where it was accepted because of the benefit that woman may have been experiencing. Okay, yeah, I'll let you have your little fun, long as you don't embarrass me intentionally out here in these streets. Keep your hoe in as quiet as possible, but you're gonna bring that check home and pay these bills, and I might have me a little side piece on the side too.
Right.
And also remember now.
And hold on, wait. You gotta understand, it was also women that did that too. The guy be off working, paying all the bills, but because he off working, paying all the bills, like he a longshoreman or he a truck driver or something like that, she already got her little, and he paying all the bills. And he coming home.
I agree with you. It was on both sides. I never think that it's just.
It was on both sides, but you also
have doing dirt too. It's women out there that had plenty of kids that they told their husband that was his baby, or their boyfriend that was his baby, and it ain't his. Matter of fact, might have been 3 or 4 of them that one his out of the 8. You know what I'm saying? But so it was on both sides of the fence.
Absolutely.
But you have to understand too. Now, all of us that are 45 plus, we have been alive since women finally got the rights to have bank accounts.
Yeah.
And so like I'm serious, this. Like, I'm really serious. That's a lot of reasons why a lot of women stay with men, is because they could not legally. Yeah, they had to have a male coach. They did.
I'm gonna say I feel like that depended on resources that were available and location, because there were probably some women that didn't fit into that category that had access, resources, and family support or friends or whatever in the community to leave, and they stayed for whatever inherent benefit they may have felt like was there. And sometimes it's insecurity. A man or a woman may not leave because they don't feel like they can get anything else out there in the streets, right? And then, as Benny used to point out on previous episodes when we talked about cheating, according to him, he thinks more women cheat than anything because we're better at it and we can hide it better. And so men won't leave because they don't want the embarrassment of somebody finding out, oh, nigga, she cheated on you and you, right? So I think we have to consider all those things too. Like, it's not just a one size fits all reasoning. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, why do you feel like we get caught up in the pettiness? Like, if you gonna stay. Like, let the bullshit go and choose your reasons and stay and make it the best. But why stay only to antagonize the person that you're choosing to stay with? That's the thing that gets me. Because everybody goes, well, how do you win?
I think men stay longer to just give the hate, the hurt that she caused him back to her. So we stay in a fucked up situation until we make her so miserable that she got to leave.
Well, sometimes she stays for the same reason.
Absolutely. And
sometimes it's just financial.
Fact.
A lot of people don't think about that.
You got a lot of roommates.
Well,
yeah.
People say because they can't afford to leave. Now you're not in a relationship. You in prison.
You in an entanglement or a situationship or some fuck shit or some whatever. Now the question becomes, so, because that's the romantic part of it, but what about when it's a friendship? How many people have we all seen that stay in a friendship and don't nobody like each? It's clear, none of y'all like each other, why are y'all hanging out and spending time together? Like,
Well,
I don't.
before we move into that, what were you gonna say? Said
Oh,
I appreciate that too, because I was trying to get in there.
did I miss something?
You're
Um,
right. Like typically it's because
hold
of
on, Gypsy. Said about to say
well,
something.
he got stuck. He got frozen. I mean, everybody was
He-
frozen, so I didn't know that anybody was talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
so
think
look,
I missed it too.
just
But go
what I was
ahead,
gonna
Ted.
say. One of the reasons I believe that women stay longer than men, just one of the reasons, is because women are, they're taught from a very early age that men ain't shit. Men are dogs.
Yeah.
Men are this. So when someone is constantly reinforcing this into your head, when it happens, it doesn't hurt as bad. Also, and I keep saying this, women like to play victim. So when a man cheat on them, now they can play that I'm a victim card. I'm just saying we see it. So these are some of the things like if you get punched in the face every day, you become accustomed to that, to getting punched in the face. You see what I'm saying? Or if you're told that somebody's gonna punch you, when it does happen, it don't hurt as bad. You've been expecting it. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see women going into their husband's boyfriend's cell phone, because they told men are dogs, he gonna cheat, he gonna do this. That's also why they have a quote unquote rainy day fund, putting money to the side. You see what I'm saying? Like all these things because it's indoctrinated in you as a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Just as a little girl. So that's one of the reasons that you can deal with it better. Men is just the opposite. We are told that our woman is a queen. We hold her on the pedestal. So when she cheat, it hurt more to us. You see what I'm saying? It hurt more because we hold y'all to a higher standard, to a higher regard that y'all hold us. And I'm not saying y'all don't hold us to a regard, but it's like this. You know what I'm talking about? We hold y'all up way higher. Go ahead.
Hold on. No. Let me be the voice of reason. I agree with you on 1 point, 2 points, maybe, you know what I'm saying, in that situation. But then also the flip side of that is it cuts both ways.
Does.
Men and women do the same shit. I don't know why we keep trying to act like somebody is better, somebody does something, you know, it's the same. There are women out there that are habitual cheaters and habitual liars, just like there are men out there that are habitual cheaters and habitual liars. That's just what it is. Digging through this shit is hard. It's hard for men because there are way more women out there than men. And to your point, because they are fed that shit, they are indoctrinated that shit from the time they are children, they expect the same thing from all men. So when they get a good man, they don't know how to act.
Hi, Brittany.
And then, hold on, wait. Hold that, write it down, come back to it, whatever you gotta do. But when they get a good man and he's not doing the bullshit, then they feel like, oh, he's real sneaky with it, so I'm gonna go do me some shit. Cause I ain't catch him up, I ain't see nothing. I'm still gonna go do me some shit. But then there are men that are like, yo, she making 6 figures. I ain't gotta work. I'm gonna sit at home, smoke weed all day. I can't even go pick up the kids, and I got her car. I don't even have my car. I got her car. And I'm still not gonna pick up kids. Then I'm gonna pick her up late, and then like, oh shit, I forgot to pick up the kid. You know, and so it's dumb shit on both sides.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what people have to understand. We keep trying to, like, men and women. No, we're humans. And we had to figure out what we need to do to move along. And me personally, I don't care what you like to date. Outside your race, inside, I don't care. That's your business. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But at the end of the day, we have to figure out how to work together to make it happen. Now, granted, it is those things we be like, oh, shit, she fat as hell. Let me go holler at her. And y'all hit it all. Y'all start doing what y'all doing, and then you start seeing stuff you don't like. Or she starts seeing stuff she don't like. But instead of saying something right then and there, you let it fester, then it grows, and then all of a sudden when they do one little thing, you explode on them. Now it's a whole problem. Now, like, man, fuck that. I'm about to go fuck somebody else. You know, and that's it becomes a perpetual cycle. That's all I had to say.
I'm gonna catch up on the comments real quick. Hey, Brittany, she says vice versa. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining in. Brittany said people don't realize good until it's gone. Nadina said, "I'm sorry, sir. You have a very negative view of women. Obviously, I'm the wrong type of woman." Okay. And then Brittany said, "I like it to be even, if not, work on it." So I'm gonna jump in and respond and say, I feel like I agree with some of what you were saying, said, but I think it's actually flipped. I think women are usually socialized. You better hold on to that man, because any raggedy half-ass man is better than no man. And men are socialized oftentimes in our community that women are easily replaceable. Should she just a notch on your belt? They outnumber us anyway. Go get you another new bitch. So on both sides, we are a product of the environment that we experience, right? If we see more men and women talking negatively about each other, sometimes we become that, or we go the extreme opposite because we don't want to be that. Sometimes we end up in the middle doing a little fuck shit and trying to be good. It just depends on each individual person, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like, again, on both sides and leading into the platonic part of it, whether it's romantic or platonic, I feel like a lot of people stay out of low self-esteem, lack of self, lack of awareness. Because if I don't feel like I can go out there and get what I really want, I'm gonna hang on to your ass because your ass is better than no ass. I'm gonna hang on to you because you're paying some bills rather than have no bills being paid, right? I'm gonna hang on to you because you look better on my arm than walking everywhere I go with, people I engage with, and always being a third wheel and not having anybody to, bolster me up or hype me up. A lot of people hang on because they are simply antagonistic. They don't know how to exist without the chaos. So I'm gonna deal with you because your known devil and evil is better than the evil that I don't know. I'd rather argue with you than figure out what's out there on the other side of that unknown. And then some people stay because of societal pressure, right? So I know when I was going through my divorce, just pray through it. You wasn't praying through it. You was hacking it. What, and on top of that, said you hit on the discretion, what did you call it? The just in case fund, the emergency fund. I am an advocate, rainy day fund. I am an advocate of every single woman. I don't care if you're in a relationship with another woman or a man, have a fund that nobody else has access to but you, because too many women have been caught up. And I'm not saying some men haven't been caught up. I don't know. But too many women have been caught up in circumstances where they gave everything they had into the household. And when they tried to leave because that man was abusive or just an asshole or cheating or whatever, guess what he did? He locked down the finances. He took the money out the joint account. He screwed her over or tried to make it impossible for her to leave. So, no, have your rainy day fund, ladies. Always have you an escape route, and pray that you never have to use
the rainy day fund.
I disagree.
Everybody needs the rainy day fund. Nobody needs to put all their eggs in the same basket. Everybody needs a rainy day fund.
That's trifling.
No.
That's trifling.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's not trifling. I mean, it's just what if.
I'll stand on it because
nothing's guaranteed in life.
I'll stand on it by myself. That's not a problem. That's not a problem for me to stand on it by myself. And let me tell you why. Listen, it's one thing to have a separate bank account, right?
Yeah.
Y'all pool your money over here, and then you got a bank account over here. That's one thing.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about.
And that's what it is.
Rainy day fund. Listen,
that is a rainy day fund.
Okay, I get what he's saying. A rainy day fund is one of those things you set up knowing or feeling like the relationship is
bad. That's what I'm saying right there. The fact that you are planning for this to go bad, means you're not giving it your all for it to go right.
So let me
wait a minute.
Hold on, wait. No.
I've been trying to make for 10 minutes, Sean.
10 minutes, okay.
Men, the thing that Sean had said really ticked me off was that they always try to pull this daggone, it's more women here. No, you mean there's more black women than men. That doesn't mean that there's more women than men, period. Just say that.
There's more women than men, period.
The thing is, we could date other ages, we could date other races, we could date stop with the narrative that there's more women than men out here. Because
there's more women on the planet than men right now.
That's bullshit.
I mean, do you, if that's how you feel? I'm anybody stopping you.
Y'all like to pull that card. So that, and then
Nah,
and a lot of times,
It's not a card. I mean, statistics say that.
Nope.
Statistics say
Nope.
there are more female people on this earth than male people.
It is. It's not. It's
y'all
not.
like to pull that card, and women put it because of that.
No. When I said what I said, it wasn't pulling a card. I was just speaking to numbers and how people think. I wasn't pulling a card. But hey, do you? If you want to date some purple cat, go ahead and date that purple cat. I don't. Yo, do you? It's a free world.
So I just looked up the DOL, Department of Labor basic stat in 2023. The world population consisted of approximately 4 billion men, 4.05 billion men, and 4.01 billion women. I mean, there's a slight difference, but it's not enough for the argument that most people try to make that we outnumber men so drastically that women should pray for the man they got and stay with dragging her ass.
Nobody said that.
You
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you're
That's not what I said. That's not
run it back.
No. So hear me when I say I'm
was,
not responding to you directly, Sean. I'm not saying anybody here.
I'm
saying in general.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to
general. Gypsy, calm me down. We just get started. We got an hour to go.
He ain't gonna make it. No.
I like y'all. Y'all a good bunch. I like y'all.
So that being said, that puts that to rest, right? Because that is something a lot of us hear all the time. And I hear men say it all the time. Well, Jay,
all the time.
I mean, women just need to deal with it and figure it out because they outnumber us. Y'all outnumber us. I mean, y'all just no. Like
nobody's saying that.
Speak to this point. Speak to this point, please. Y'all being ladies, would y'all agree or disagree that it's more ladies dating the same particular men than all the men?
I think that's the same for men and women.
Okay, why?
Personally,
I mean, nobody wants bum, man or woman.
I think, well, no, just like we see baby mamas, right? Let's use that for an example. It's usually women having babies by the same men over and over and over again. But on the men's side, the men that holler women ain't shit and they all gold diggers and all they got is a fat ass and some eyelashes and whatever they be saying, because they hurt. We all have our feelings. Mm-hmm. They're dating the same women. Mm-hmm. If you look at celebrities, if you look at athletes, I think that's a visual that we get to see, but the same thing happens in our communities every day. They cycling through the same people. How many people have been married to the same 4 or 5 people in their circle? The same stuff happens in our community every single day. She was with him over there, he was with her over here, and they're staying in that same 30-mile radius, just an example, rather than expanding their horizon. And getting out there and meeting new people.
But why is the same man able to have kids with multiple women? That speaks to what he said earlier. All of y'all are looking for the same thing or attracted by the same thing. If he can have kids with multiple women in the 30-mile radius, you know what I'm saying?
Why are the same men having babies with multiple women as well? It speaks to the same mindset on either side of the fence.
Okay, but I'm saying asking another question doesn't answer it. It doesn't answer the question though. It just simply flips the question back.
He got a gift of gab. He can talk the talk. He sells the game, even though I mean we should know if he got baby mama number 1 and 2, we shouldn't want to be baby mama number 3, but we still believe we gonna be the one to change him.
Right. That's it right there.
He hits you with that.
My point. Oh my God. My point was mindset. I don't know that I understand the mindset, but I think it's mindset on both sides of the fence. This is why you got the same men having multiple baby mamas and you got the same women having babies with multiple men. It's the mindset. We as women,
y'all heard how good it was, right?
Huh?
Because y'all heard how good it was. So y'all want to try it too.
I am not a community teen. Sorry.
But
he got a reputation about what he's got going on there. I don't want it.
Real talk. I had that happen to me, and I think that's a real conversation that people have. Hold on 1 second. Let me catch up on the comments. Brittany said, yes, we're not sure what you was talking about, Brittany. What was you talking about? You said, I let anything that go don't value me. Listen, you better preach on that one. I'm an elephant all around. Blessing at that. I prayed right out of mine. Listen, prayed to get the fuck out of it, not to stay up in it. You better know how to direct your prayers. Y'all understand? That being said, so I had that real conversation. It was me and 4 other ladies sitting around. No, 3 other ladies sitting around one night. This has been like 10 years ago. And this one chick was talking about some dude that was her little fun buddy and how good it was and how like all the attributes. And everybody was like, oh, okay. That's not really my conversation, right? So I was just kind of sitting on the end, like, okay, whatever. When y'all done with that, let's go ahead and get on.
Right.
And as I started tuning in, I was like, y'all really gonna sit here? Like 30 minutes had passed and they were still having this conversation. I'm like, y'all really gonna sit? I'm ready to fucking go. Like, what are we doing? And they was like, Jay, you need to get you some and loosen up a little bit. And she volunteered him. Like, hey, I'll give you his number, bitch.
She was trying to hook you up. He had that Thanos. She's like, hey, he ain't here for a long time, but he here for a good time. Go ahead.
I ain't never clutched my pearl so damn tight. I have never in my life ever and will not ever volunteer anything that I'm doing, right?
Well, she wasn't still doing them, was she?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
Okay.
So he was.
I thought she was done. It was just like, look, it's a good piece of ass. Go ahead and knock that off.
He was community. He was community.
I guess he was community. And I was like, y'all, you really you lost your damn mind.
Nah. I mean, it's some women out there that know like this ain't the man for me, but he was good. No, I'm. See, that's I wasn't trying to pitch it to you. I was just explaining the thought process.
I get it, but what I'm saying, Sean, don't matter. Listen,
I understand. Look. Hey, everybody has their own mind to make up.
So let me ask you
whatever you want to do is what you want to do. Like I wouldn't have if hold on, wait. Let me finish. I wouldn't have a problem if I knew I had a prime piece of expletive that I didn't mind sharing, and I'd be like, yo, you need to get some of this. I wouldn't mind doing that, being single, not being in a relationship. Now, if we was in a relationship, that's different. Like, yo, nah, son. But anyway, if we just mess and we know we could actually sit there and have an active conversation about other people that we see, then yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But you know, that's me. I'm on a different level. But go ahead.
What y'all got to say? Would you? So said we know you're married, but in an alternate reality, would you share this? Would you share?
Okay, so if like he said, like bro said up there, if I'm single, right? If I'm single and I got a little jump off or whatever term they use right now, and then my homie come along and let's just say he just got out the pen, you know what I'm talking about? And you like, hey bro, look, I know you just came home. I'm gonna hook you up. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you can go ahead and make that happen for him. You know, nothing wrong with that. It happens every day.
I am single, but I grew up on the West Coast, and we live by a motto out there. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's just all about how you know what your thought process is. Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, you feel like that's a violation? It's a violation. That's just what it is.
Listen, I don't care if he's just a piece of ass to me and he's just my fun buddy. I'm not sharing. That's just right.
But I mean, believe it or not, a lot of women and men share anyway. You just don't know it because when they be out there cheating, you sharing. So, but I'm saying you just gonna get mad when you find out and maybe cut them off. But if you don't know, how can it hurt you? So that's what I'm saying. Like if you consciously knew, it wouldn't hurt you because you know, but because you don't want to know, he don't tell you. So now you hurt when you find out.
No. So for me, I don't share and I don't overlap. That's just my thing. Let me say this. A lot of emotions to manage and all that shit going on.
And that's totally understandable. And that's why I said is whatever, like wherever you're comfortable at, that's where you're at. some people are more free thinking, some people are not. Just like you got
Right.
cuckolds. You got cuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yep.
I don't knock them. That's what they. That's
That
what
is
they
cross
like.
line for me.
Me
I
too.
mean,
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all.
I have a super freak. I've done tons of freaky things, but sitting there watching another man do something to my lady, not just a jump off my lady, and then turn around and doing some gay stuff just to no.
Okay, so that's not cuckold. That's something else.
That's not the same. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. And then we start looking at that. That's what the dude did. He
That they mislabeled that because cuckold is when he just sit there and watch. He
And
don't
watch.
touch nobody.
Oh,
He just
okay.
watch.
Right.
Okay.
He just
So
watch.
You
Okay.
talk about something else. That's not cuckold. I don't know what that's
Right.
called, but that's
It was
something
titled
else.
cuckold. I was like, what? Oh, this what y'all do? No.
Wow.
Okay. Let me catch up on the comments and then I'm gonna kick it to you, said, because you were saying something. Brittany said, I don't want anybody leftovers. I can't fuck with nobody that don't have anything. Listen, you got to have some healthy boundaries to be able to enforce. Ms. New Agenda said facts. Brittany said, I'm 34. I think like a lady and a man. I work just like a man. So if a motherfucker don't want to bring the table, I got my own. I don't mind being single like now. Facts. Hell no, I don't like the sham attention. Listen, so I said this in a previous episode when we talked about polyamory, because Q and Michael are our polyamorous couple. When they get to join us, they share about their lifestyle and operating with integrity, being above board and being honest and communicating, right? So one thing I've shared in the past was I carry a lot of Sagittarius energy, and I really am surprised I don't come across more of us in that lifestyle, because I can see the desire and the drive for freedom that we have being really successful in that space, right? But I also preach know thyself. So I know myself well enough to know I'm fucking stingy. I'm a giver in a lot of aspects. That ain't one of them, right? We not sharing dick. We just not gonna do that. I'm not sharing me like that. We just not gonna do that. And it ain't really, I don't judge other people. Do you get your rocks off, have your fun, be safe with it, but have your fun. But to me, I can't process sitting here with my girls and being like, yo, that thing is singing, baby, hit that. Like I'm passing a blunt. That's crazy to me.
I understand.
So I definitely finish share no pain.
All I'm saying is,
I put my lips on nothing else that somebody else already stuffed on.
Be comfortable where you're at, because some people, and so this is my thing. I don't get down like that, but I don't shame anybody for doing what they do that makes them happy.
No,
so if that's what you like to do, if that's what you like to do, look, I fucking love it for you. I'll be in the corner with sparklers dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, do you? But if it's not for me, it's not for me, and I'm just not gonna do it. But I'm not gonna look down on it, because for somebody else, that's their jam.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't sit around. I can't imagine. Just remember, Jay, you and I talked about that before. I just can't imagine sitting around talking to my homegirl about somebody that I didn't daggone slept with. That's
okay.
So women don't do that? Women don't discuss their sex partners with their homegirls?
That's wild, bro.
Some people do, but not all of us. Jim and I have known each other like 15 years, and we ain't never.
Okay. I don't know all women conversations. That's why I asked. I don't know all women conversations.
No, that's why I said some do, some don't. I've shared in the previous podcast.
But anybody who brings anything to you, you damn sure ain't talking about that.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You ever just happen to be in a room and somebody was having sex?
No.
I just happened to be in the room. What kind of freaky shit are you into, Sean?
Hey, I didn't say I was into it. It just happens. You be sitting there and you be like, oh shit, they having sex.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
It happens.
Sean, you were the same
but it does happen.
now.
No.
You say what? What did you say?
I remember you the same one that said you fell in some pussy before. I remember now.
It happens. It fucking happens.
It don't happen. Take your clothes off. You gotta listen. It's too many. Just stop it.
Okay, so setting this came up in January on a previous episode. And there was some bullshit on the episode, and then behind the scenes, because we debrief every week, right? Behind the scenes, the conversation changed to accidental pussy. And Gypsy and I could not understand, how do you get accidental pussy? Like, it's intentional. You got to pull some clothes off. You got to
drive there.
I got you. So when I was in the Marine Corps, one night we went to let's see, it was the four of us. So one night we went to this girl house, one of my partner's girlfriend. Her mom was in the house and her daughter was in the house, and then her best friend was in the house. So her best friend, who my partner, we got to drinking. Next thing I know, the mom is topping off my roommate. And then because everybody else was having sex, the daughter was like, "You want to have sex?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? I'm drinking too." So yeah, it was accident. I didn't go over there with the plan like I'm smashing somebody. No.
It ain't no accident. You still had to
premeditated.
I mean, it was consensual, but it was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. I didn't go over there with that in mind. So that's why it's an accident. Because it wasn't on my mind. Like, okay, we're going over there. Somebody gonna get some. No.
Accident is you slip on a crack and you trip and fall and hurt your knee. You don't.
That's basically what happened.
Accidentally fall in no pussy. Sorry.
Okay, look.
Dad,
But
what
look.
you got?
Here's the thing. Y'all got to understand guy talk, right? So when men say, "Oh man, I accidentally fell up on some," that means it wasn't planned. He didn't expect it. He didn't have on his good clothes. He probably didn't have enough bread in his pocket.
He wasn't trying to impress her, right?
It was an accident, literally. So that's what we mean when you hear a guy say he accidentally slipped up and fell into some booty. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't
you know what he should have said? I lucked up on some.
Say it again.
He should have said, I lucked up on some.
No, that's not how guys talk.
Such thing as an accident.
That's not.
I mean, but like women want sex like men want sex, so it's not luck. You just happen to be the right. You happen to be the right penis at that moment.
At the right time.
Right. It was an accident.
Not an accident. That's premeditated. By the time she walked over to you and was like, "They fucking, you want to have sex too?" She had already thought about that and made a decision. That's her.
That was her. Like,
Thank you.
That wasn't on my mind.
Exactly.
I was drinking like everybody's like, "Yo, go fix drinks." I was fixing drinks. Giving people like an ounce or an ounce and a half. I was taking like 3-4 ounces in my cup in it. So when she was like, "Do you want to do it?" Of course, why not? Just shoot the shit.
But see,
and if she'd have got pregnant, then you'd have accidentally had a baby.
No, I had a rubber. No, I wasn't unprepared. Yeah, I wasn't unprepared. Look, when you get on the boat, you wear a life jacket, right? You don't plan to fall in, but if you do, you safe.
How you have a rubber and you said it was an accident? Why was
you always keep a rubber with you?
You always keep a rubber. Like some men keep their gun, some women keep their purse, men keep their rubber. Like,
but if that logic fits for having sex, why would that not be the same logic when it comes to women being married and making sure if shit goes south and that man end up being a fool, he can safely leave? Because you just said you don't get on the boat without your life jacket. You're going to fall in, but you're going to be safe.
Okay, so why can't she have a rainy day fund to be safe?
Say it.
Come on, say it.
Because by the Bible that y'all swear on, love, honor, cherish, obey. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying by the vow that you take, right? Rainy day fund literally goes against that. Literally. Yeah. So unless you didn't say no vows or those vows, what we talking about? You see what I'm saying? That's
we ain't
why.
Say them vows when I got married.
I'm just everybody didn't. So that's
why. So okay.
It was so along the lines, right?
So the whole rainy day thing, like we said earlier, it means that you have an intent to leave. If you marry somebody, your next thought, like after you say I do, will you take her to honest, cherish, love, whatever? It shouldn't be like, oh, in the back of my I don't. That means you shouldn't get married. If you
No,
have a process while or before getting married, you might not need to get married to that person.
Same
Then you don't
thing
have to have a rainy
I
day
said.
fund.
You pull
And
out
when you
a
come up
condom,
with this rainy day fund, that means you're telling yourself this is not going to work one day.
no, this.
but it's
Somebody has to be the
that's
saver
why
somebody has to be the saver in the relationship, because if we're both spenders, if something happens, then we will not have a life jacket.
That's not the same. That's
It
not the
is.
same.
No. So let me, because I hear both of y'all, and I'm trying to. So let's not call it a rainy day fund, because that's what's causing the issue.
I think said you agreed with Sean when Sean said, or whichever one of y'all said it. Okay, you got your community property fund, right? You got the household fund, and then
Right.
both people have their separate funds.
Mhm.
That's
That's
literally
fine.
all I'm saying. Everybody should have some separate money, because if the other
Mhm.
person,
Well,
it could be
okay,
the
put
woman
it
that
like
loses
that.
her
But
damn
the
mind.
rainy day thing means that you're looking for something to happen eventually.
And
Like, okay,
also,
so you have like hold on. So you have a rainy day fund for your car because one day your car might break down. You got a rainy day for rent because one day you might get fired. You need to have a way to pay rent for a couple months. You have a rainy day fund for your kids' Christmas. I might not be able to buy everything right now. Put things on layaway. This is a rainy day fund. When you're in a marriage and you say I have a rainy day fund, that means you're looking for an out one day. Now, having a separate account and putting money in it, that's fine. That can't nobody get mad at you
What's
for
the
that.
difference? Why not put it all in the household account?
okay,
It's the
The
wording
word,
of it.
the
let me-
word.
and also not only the wording, it's what it implies. Rainy day fund implies that the other person doesn't know about it. That's the problem. Rainy day fund implies the other person doesn't know about it. You see what I'm saying? So now when it's separate accounts, we both know, okay, we got a separate account. Cool. But I didn't know you had a rainy day fund. So that means you've been slipping, ducking money off. You see what I'm saying? That's
No,
the part that what makes it nefarious. You know what I'm talking about for
Yeah,
real.
a separate
Because they could
account
be taking
means
money out
you
of the
pay
personal account
30%
that
of
they
your
have.
income to the bills, and you kept 70. And you either go travel, spend, buy purses, whatever, or you save it to whatever. But saying you got a rainy day fund, that's like saying I'm putting $200 away right now for every time this nigga get mad at me or I get mad at this nigga. I'm gonna have me $2,000, 15,000, 20 million to just leave his ass. Because, like you said in the beginning, some people stay with people because they don't have no money.
So I'm going back to your condom. You said life jacket. You don't get on the boat without a life jacket, so you stay
right.
prepared. Sean, you said you don't leave the house without a condom. I'm saying don't get into a relationship or get married without your life jacket. It's the
That
same
part.
thing, because by that logic, in my
Right.
mind, by your logic, then
Right.
I could respond to you and say, well, why you using the condom? Shouldn't you assume that person is clean? Shouldn't you believe them when they say
Hell
they got
no.
checked up and they didn't have nothing?
Hell
No, you
no.
don't fucking
That's
believe them. You protect yourself.
I mean,
It's
it
the
was
same
that's a
in marriage.
stretch.
you
So
should be
let's
prepared.
hope, and you protect
No.
yourself. Like,
No. That's a stretch. You stretched the hell out of that one.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just
So
saying.
now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because it's at this point it's semantics, because it's like it is. It's because you want to
It
call
really
it a
is.
rainy day fund, but at the end of the day, and I've always said this: women keep a separate account, men keep a separate account.
Yeah.
Then y'all have a joint account that y'all work together on.
I
But
like
don't
what
stop.
you said.
Don't stop putting money in your separate accounts. Don't stop having your little separate investments.
Facts.
Look
You
at what
know,
Nadina said.
even if y'all got investments together, still have your own set. Like I want to put a little 2,500 over here just to see what it do. Just do that. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's man, because if you call it a rainy day fund, that sounds like you planning for everything not to work out, and you plan on it not working out. So that's why you got to
Greatest
set like that.
So
Versus,
Pay for it in.
I will use myself as an example. Before I got married, I said, please make me a promise. If it doesn't work, now I'm coming in, eyes wide open, feet firmly planted, that we can last. But if for whatever reason it doesn't work because the divorce exists, people are getting divorced every day.
Right.
Shit changes. Life happens, right? If we don't make it, please promise me you'll leave me in peace and let me leave you in peace. because I feel like if you choose to be with someone outside of certain grievous things that they may do to just really harm you, let them the fuck go. All this stuff that we try to do to destroy people and break them down and harm them, that's just it gets ridiculousness, right? And he said what you said. Oh, you're just assuming we're not going to make it. I said, no, I'm coming to this with maturity, emotional maturity, to understand that life happens and it goes unplanned. So my plan is to be with you, but if it doesn't work, please let's adhere to that. So when we got divorced, I left in peace because that was my plan. Same thing with the money. I think that people can put it to the side with every intention to make it. But if something should go wrong, you have this opportunity to leave and protect yourself and have resources versus whether man or woman, kids or no kids, whatever. Now you're trapped in this situation because you have no resource and no community and no help, and you can't leave,
Right.
which is how a lot of people end up getting hurt.
And nobody should be in a position where they have to stay because they did not plan for something to happen. Because the thing is that it's not about you wanting it to go bad or whatever, but I should not have to stay because I can't afford to leave.
Yeah.
So
Comment as well. Gina
now,
said, no, that's not what a rainy day fund is. It's like having car insurance. You cover yourself for what will happen in the future.
Right.
okay, so I disagree. But like he said, it's semantics. It's semantics. That's all it is. But look, y'all, we definitely appreciate y'all having us on. We got 4 minutes before we go live on our podcast. We would definitely like to invite you guys over, jump in the chat, you know, whatever we got to do. And we definitely have to do this again, though. We definitely need to do this again.
We need to have a collabo night, like maybe y'all, we both do Monday nights or whatever. So maybe we'll do a collabo night that is later on in the week. And we just, you know, time together.
And that'll be dope. I'm with that.
Hey, let's just do a Monday when we start at 6:30.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
guys said, and I have something planned coming up where we're gonna go in on a hot topic. That's gonna piggyback off a show they recently had, and then we're gonna all come back together and do a part 2 to that hot topic. So keep your ears perked, your eyes open. Y'all have a good podcast tonight.
Have a great show, guys.
Y'all out. Bye, y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all be good.
Appreciate y'all.
Bye, guys.
So as we segue and we talk, because I still want to talk about the platonic private, right? Just because we see these things in relationship doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in friendship every day. We've all seen it. We've all seen a moment where we like, damn, they ain't really like you. I say it all the time when I see certain women in public. And I tell my friends, I'm whooping everybody ass if y'all ever let me leave the house looking like this or doing stupid shit. Because nobody in that friend circle likes that person if they let them come out the house carrying on a certain way or looking a certain. We've all seen it. The girl that wigs sideways, just looking a hot ass mess. Okay. But her friends gassed her up and was like, girl, you ain't got to look in the mirror. You look good. We got you. Because they want to embarrass her for whatever the reason. We've all seen men do it to each other, right? So it doesn't just get lost in translation in relationships because it's a romance. It happens across the board.
But Jay, you also heard this. Oh, I wish I could get like you. And you know that is not a compliment.
Yeah.
It is not a compliment. A lot of times that's that shady, slick, sly, hater stuff.
It could be.
No, like for real, it depends. Like a lot of times when you hear them, they give backwards compliments or they say things like that. Oh, I wish I could be like you, big money, this. Those are hater compliments. They're not really compliments. They're basically kind of like trying to make you feel bad for where you are in life, your station in life.
I think you got to know the person. Because that compliment can go either way. I've said it. I've had friends say it to me. I think you got to know the person and know the heart of the person. And if you're feeling some kind of way or questioning their motivation, then you really got to take a hard look to figure out who you think that person is to you. But yes, I do agree that sometimes people have said it and that shit is shady as hell because it's a backhanded way of being like, bitch, you ain't all that. We've all seen it too. But do either one of you guys remember, was it last year or the year before, the young lady that I think they went to Mexico?
Yep, last year.
And she was killed. And
Yep,
they were trying to say that it was a setup. They didn't really like her. Like,
yep.
as details came out, one of the things that they were saying was that people in the friend group really didn't like her, and that's why they invited her
They
over.
didn't like her. They were jealous.
Like her.
They were jealous because she had no kids. She had money. She owned a business, and they took her down to Mexico and killed her.
Yeah. So I think we have to talk about these kind of things, because a lot of the times, so I know, like me, I've come to the point of admitting I miss a lot of social cues, right? It's not until later on when I'm sitting down processing, I'm like, oh shit. And most times, thankfully, it's not anything bad or dangerous. It's just basic shit in my everyday interactions with people, right? But one thing I'm real good at is listening to my intuition. If I don't feel right with you, we're not going to be hanging. If something changes every time I engage with you, we're not going to be hanging. So I think there's something to be said for that as well, that a lot of the times we stay in situations and we ignore those inner warning bells.
You know why?
And there's discord.
Sometimes we ignore them just because of longevity. Just because somebody has been around you, or you've been quote unquote friends with them for a long time, doesn't mean they need to stay inside your circle. A lot of times we allow people to have front row seats in our lives, and they ask you to be in the balcony.
If even in the building.
Even in the building, we might need to tell them that it's sold out.
Yeah. Sean, you got a look on your face.
I mean, because I can't really, and I can't really.
Sean cut people off quick.
That is true, because if you show me some fuck shit, you cut off. B, I only fuck with real niggas.
Me and Sean been friends 34 years.
So the niggas that I fuck around with, they real niggas. They would never, if they give me a compliment, it's a genuine compliment. It ain't no BS like, oh, they hating. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I'm sitting here like, I can't comment on, because
have you ever had to, come on, Sean, have you ever had to cut somebody off though? Because you already peeped it, because I know you're real good at recognizing that kind of thing. So it's not like it hasn't happened to you. It's just you nip it in the butt. You don't allow them to stay in your circle.
Exactly. So whatever they saying, whatever they doing, it don't matter, because like I cut a cat off for $10 one time.
Wait, $10, Sean?
Yeah, because he would borrow money from me all the time. 20 here, 10 there, 15 here, 20 there, you know what I'm saying? And then one time when I had, at that point in time, I had been laid off, and you know, I wasn't finding a job. The market was tight. This is back in, what was that, like 09, when we had that recession. And you know, and I was like, yo, I just need to borrow $10. I was trying to do, and then like he sweated me. I'm like, yo, I'll pay you back next week when I get my unemployment. I just need this right now. And it was like every day he sweated me, like, yo, with my $10. I'm like, yo, dude, I told you when I was gonna pay you. Yeah, you know, it's like I didn't lie. It ain't like the date passed and I still ain't paid you. I told you when I was, but it's way before the date. Like, come on, man. It's been like 2 days. I told you I'm gonna pay you next Friday. Like, come on.
Wow.
So I paid him, and that was that. I ain't talked to him since.
Wow.
You know, but I mean, trust me, I've cut people off for less. I was just using that as a reference point. But like, I will cut, because like, for me, being a friend, if I'm there for you, I'm there for you. If I can do it and you need it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not looking to be paid back and up, because because first of all, if you down, how can I expect you to do something?
Right.
Why am I kicking you? And I already know you down. Because first of all, if we truly in a friendship circle like that, I really know what's going on with you. Let me tell you something. Me and Tanya, you know, we've been friends since we were 12 years old. 12. We are turning double nickels next month. Matter of fact, my girl's birthday is Thursday.
Happy birthday, Tanya.
I didn't hear it right now, but happy birthday, Tanya. But yeah, so but the thing is that if they're true friends, then you know them and they know you. The good thing, this is what I say about people that you met in your youth, before you knew you and before they knew them. They knew the real you. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, the childhood you, like for real. Like Sean and I met, I was like in my teens. I was still in my teens. I had, matter of fact, I had just turned like 20. Because I had just had, Reggie was like 2. Right, Sean? Reggie was like 2, 1.5, 2.
Go get to the point. It don't matter how old the kid was.
Shut up, fool. It's just that when you're young like that, you're still trying to discover yourself and stuff, and like you really don't have anything for anybody to be like trying to latch on to you for. You feel me? That's when you meet
Yes,
your
I
most
know.
genuine friends, when you really don't have anything. You don't have anything for them to be bartering for or for them to be latching on to you for. It's them
So-
motherfuckers you meet later on in life when you become CEO of something or director of something or NFL player of this, that, and the other.
So I gotta disagree. I get where I think you're going with that, and I understand some of that, and I kind of agree with some of it, but I also have to disagree with a part of it as well, because a lot of people see destiny. So they can see beyond what you have in this moment to where they believe that you have the capacity to go. This is just like how a lot of women choose their men based on the potential and the possibility that they see in that man, right? So a lot of times friends stick with you for the long haul. Friends stick with you for the long haul because they see, just like that dude out there hooping it, or that dude out there running it, or that dude out there doing whatever, and we think they're going to the NFL, the NBA, to whatever. Is friends out there that can do the same thing. And people know how to play the long game. It's a lot of people I genuinely also think got into friendships when they were younger and truly loved each other, truly had friendship. But over time, if you have skyrocketed and this person has stayed here because of lack of goals, lack of whatever, that bitterness and that resentment can sit in because they looking at you here. And a lot of times people will see it as a mirror reflecting what they don't have instead of using it as an example of what's possible, right? So I'm an advocate for always assess. I don't give a damn how long I've known you. I can know you 30 years and still cut you off if you start to move left, because your longevity means nothing to me if I don't feel safe with you based on how you're moving right now. So I'm going to give you a minute because I want to see, is it temporary? Are you going through something? Is there a hiccup that we need to talk about because there's a misunderstanding? Or are you just moving foul and sideways now because of what you're going through or your own pain, right? I don't practice quantity over quality. It's got to be quality, and over time that quantity adds up as well. But it's got to be quality, hands down. That's why I use the example for myself. I miss social cues, meaning I could be out with my friends and somebody trying to flirt with me, and they'd be like, "You don't see that dude or that chick trying to flirt with you?" No. And when I think through it later, I'm like, "Oh shit, oh okay." You know what I'm saying? It could be simple things like that. But when it comes to my instincts, I don't listen. I don't ignore my instincts when it comes to how do I feel with people, no matter how long I've known them, because people change, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. That's how I think on that.
But you
I
can
ain't
feel
saying I'm
that
right,
change,
that's how I
though.
think.
But you can feel that change, though.
But that's my point. It's always a vibe, and when that vibe shift, it's time to make decisions.
Yeah.
Now,
Anybody can get it.
some people can't make that decision. Some people are like, you know what, that's my friend. Fuck it. But to your point, you do have to know that person because sometimes people think they shit don't stink.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And then once you talk them off that ledge, they be like, "Oh shit, you was right. I was fucking up." But then there's other people that's like, "What? I don't need you." And then they go ahead about their business, and then next thing you know, they calling you up like, "Yo, my life ain't been right since then. This happened and that happened. And I done lost everything." And you're like, "Yo, I told you, but you ain't want to listen. What are we talking about?" Oh, okay, all right. Well, I hope everything works out for you, Click.
Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. And you have to see what are the influences happening in that person's sphere, right? So I remember years ago I had a bestie. We had been best friends for like 10 years. I'm talking about like sisters, like in the thick of it. You feel me?
Oh, dang.
It was really nothing she couldn't ask me for, nothing. But I just started paying attention because I started feeling different around her. So I paid attention. Why am I feeling different every time I get around her? And really, ironically, this is why I say it's good to talk to people in your circle. And the new people that come in, or as people engage, everybody should have an overlap of some type of layer, right? Because it actually took my ex-husband to point it out for me. I had been noticing things and I just kept brushing it off because I loved her like a sister. Loved her like a sister, hands down. Sister from another mister, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we got engaged, I was telling her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." Well, he happened to be there, and I had her on speakerphone. And when she got off the phone, he was like, "That's all you get?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was a little weird, huh?" He was like, "I ain't saying nothing but pay attention." I said, "Okay." So I kept paying attention, and what I started noticing was that after I had gotten with him, and he was more intentional about making sure I honored my own boundaries and needs, meaning, guess what I was no longer doing? I was no longer freely giving her money to help her in her household and her husband and her kids because I was no longer a single woman, right? What I had to recognize is I had become the man in her life and our friendships. Didn't even catch it when it was happening. Like, because I loved her so much, she had been there for me when I was really going through a rough patch. What I also started paying attention to was, and this is why I'm saying we can't count on time, because this was 10 years in. What I also started paying attention to was she wasn't telling people all the shit that I was still currently doing for her.
Oh.
But she was telling people some shit she had did for me like 5 years prior.
Oh.
And I would be like, damn, is there ever a point where you're not going to bring this up and remind me?
Wow.
So I just really had to step back and take a hard look. My final straw for this particular friendship, because I'd already fallen back, right? But my final straw for this particular friendship was when I went no contact with my mother. And the people in my life really understood why I had to choose to go no contact. And most of them kind of questions what fuck took me so long, right? But I got to that point, made that decision. She continued a relationship with her. And I didn't know about it at first. It kind of came out by accident. And that was my final straw. Like,
where's your loyalty?
Right. Where's your loyalty? You are one of my closest friends with access to the most intimate parts of my life. And yet this person that has tried to cause me physical and emotional harm, you choose to maintain a relationship with, right? And it was out of her own hurt because her and her mother didn't have a relationship. So it was like a surrogate experience for her, right? It was going on. But my point being, this was 10 years into a friendship. And so that was a reminder for me that longevity ain't where it's at. It's all about quality. And I don't give a damn if we've been rocking 25 years. If you start to roll suspect and I start to catch a pattern and realize that you ain't really fucking with me like that no more, you finna get the axe. Now with me, I'm just gonna roll and be done with it. I'm gonna block you. We ain't gotta have all these goodbye conversations. I don't need to explain to you why. I'm just gonna block and be removed. Like equal opportunity, right? Now, there's sometimes when maybe you should have a goodbye conversation. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. People want closure. Fuck closure. Move on. But
I used to.
All I'm saying, y'all, is when it comes to pettiness or that tit for tat, when you realize that people are doing it, don't think that you can talk them out of being that way. You can't change another grown ass human being. You can't.
You know, I used to need closure when I was younger, but I've realized that there's no real such thing as closure. Um, Closure is for you, and it's what you make of it. And it's like you need to say, you know what, I'm done. And you don't need a lying ass explanation from somebody because most of the time that's what you're finna get. Like for real. Like really just be done with it. Don't sit there and listen to excuses and stuff because really it's gonna be something that's gonna be to try to persuade you to do what it is the opposite of what it is you want to do in the first place. So stop.
Yeah.
Like
And
just
see,
don't give them that.
that's so. And see, that's why I'm built different. Because first of all, okay, I'm about
You
to
know
break
when
it
somebody
down.
say, first of all, this finna be some shit.
Yeah, I'm about to break it down. Y'all not gonna like what I say, but
Say
y'all some prudes, but that's cool. But
Did
second
you
of
call us
all,
prudes?
yes, I called y'all prudes. Yes,
No.
y'all no,
Yes, you
yeah,
did.
no,
That's
y'all
okay.
are. Trust me, y'all, but y'all don't
Because I
see
don't
it
like
in
a
that,
thing don't
and
mean it's
that's
not okay.
no. I didn't say because you didn't like it doesn't mean it's not okay. I'm just saying y'all some prudes, and that's fine. That's where y'all at. But first of all, like for me, my relationship with you ain't got shit to do with nobody else's relationship. I don't give a fuck. Like even if I knew you first, you know what? You want to be more loyal to them? I know what it is. And that's the thing. My grandma always told me, you leave them where you find them. So you know what? If you want to fuck with them more than you fuck with me, that's fine. As long as you have not done anything against me, then I'm still your friend. I'll still talk. Now, will I give you as much information about certain shit? Fuck no, because you probably be running back telling them. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because being that person may eventually work it out. Who knows? I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you what I need you to know, and that's fine. You can tell them that all day long. I don't care if they know that. I don't care. But my relationship with you has nothing to do with your relationship with them. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing a lot of people, and that's why I don't understand, especially in this age bracket. Like, yeah, we came from the generation of fuck it. What the
I
fuck is
never been
happening?
a fucking person though. I'm sensitive, Sean. Even though I might talk shit, but I'm really sensitive. I might talk
We
shit to y'all
know.
and then I go in my room and cry about it. Like for real.
We know. But you're just being yourself. Let me
You,
throw this
you,
in here, right?
you ate some pink chips off the windowsill. No, I'm
So,
sorry. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just
Sean,
fucking. That was a joke. That was a joke. I'm just fucking with you.
Gypsy, we know you're a little special. We love you though. But Sean, I agree with you though. Like, first of all, let me say this. I ain't gonna deny the proof thing. I mean, if that's what people think, I'm gonna let them have it because I'm a firm believer in what I do behind closed doors ain't everybody's business.
Hey,
So
that's your business.
you know what I'm saying? I could be swinging from the fucking chandelier when we get
Hey,
off this night.
that's your
Ain't
business.
nobody gonna know.
That's your business.
That being said, I learned this trick when I was in college. One of my mentors at the
Use
time
vinegar
said,
in the bathtub.
no.
Oh, okay, my fault,
No. First of all, I got a copy off of you, Shaw. First of all, no. So I learned this when I was in college. One of my mentors at the time said, never let everybody know everything, right? And I said, well,
That's
you know,
true.
what do you mean? And she said, because they can like you today and hate you tomorrow.
Yep.
And she said, you really need to be able to understand what you can share with people, you know, what magnitude you can trust them and how people roll. She said, I'm gonna give you an experiment. I said, all right. So she had me make up a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I want you to tell everybody a piece of the story. Ain't nobody gonna get the whole story. Everybody gonna get a piece of it. I did it with 4 friends. Everybody got a piece. And she said, by what comes back to you, that's gonna show you who talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all a lie. But I gave each person a fourth of the story. And when a piece of that story got back to me, I knew exactly who had done it. And she was the main one sitting up in my face saying, but girl, I ride for you, bitch. I kill for you. I got
But
you,
but
bestie.
But hold
Oh,
on, you said when did this happen?
This was in college.
In
So,
college.
so
wow.
don't
Hold on,
matter
wait,
because
wait,
even
wait.
in
No,
college I
no,
was
no, no,
loyal.
no. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
See
but
that? So the first thing you gotta understand is everybody ain't built like you,
You're right.
and that's one thing you gotta understand. That's why you heard me say many times tonight. Like I understand. I'm different.
Mhm.
Like my
Fact,
my my wavelength is on a totally different level than a lot of other people's because
fact.
I've experienced enough of life to say, you know what, a lot of shit happens. You
Yeah.
can't sit here and be all judgy. If it's something you don't do, you just don't do it. But you can't fault the next person for doing it.
Well, let me
But
let me
it's,
finish my point. Then I'm gonna kick it back to you,
go
Sean.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So second, let me add to that and say I've stayed that way all these years later, these past 2 decades later, 2.5 decades, whatever later, right?
Mhm.
That's not to say that I hide myself, and I've done that at times as well. But for me, it is intentional that I protect my peace and my sanity at all costs. So even with my bestest, I'm talking about done seen me butt ass naked
Mhm.
in the hospital bed, hooked up the tubes, done
Right.
carried me to the emergency room when I was dying with an erupted appendix. Even they don't know everything about me. Nobody knows everything about me because
That's
there are
true.
some things that I hold sacred to myself that this is my truth to work through. This is my whatever to deal with. Or it just don't even need to be talked about. Everything ain't got to be fucking talked about and dissected. Some shit we just need to put to bed, let it be in peace and heal forward and be done, right? Stop holding ourselves in pain. So I learned that then, but I still practice it now. Even if I tell somebody something, ain't nobody gonna get the whole thing because I'm gonna only tell you what I'm okay with you repeating. So that means even if I clue Bestie in on something, if I can't deal with it ever becoming public, because that don't mean they would tell it. You don't never know who may be eavesdropping when you're somewhere. You don't never know how a person may get information. There are people that can pray and divine and pull conversation. I can hear people's conversation if I really want to tune in. So that's why I'm saying when we get into the spiritual parts of this,
Mhm.
nobody ever gets the fullness from me
Right.
only because some things ain't meant for public consumption. I may tell my bestie certain things because I want to talk through it. I need safe space. I need to vent. I need feedback, whatever. But there are some things that are not meant for them because it's only me to work through it. It's only me to heal through
Mhm.
it. It's only me and my spirit team and my belief, right? Not
Mhm.
about not trusting them, but about preserving my sacredness. That's just how I
Right.
operate. I'm not saying everybody got to do that, but that's just me. And then on top of that, that's my inner circle. They got more access to me than
Mhm.
anybody. If you ain't in that innermost circle, you damn sure ain't finna be getting all of the details and knowing 99% of
Right.
what goes on in my life. That's just like the old thing that people love to talk about, when they see their stuff on social media, and I get it all the time. I post random shit on social media. It might have to do with my business. It might be an affirmation. It might be a ritual. It might be about this. And guaranteed somebody gonna call me. I just started posting love affirmations the other day because I'm in the middle of a love ritual, a group ritual that I'm doing for clients and students. And somebody messaged me 20 minutes after I started sharing shit. Girl, you all right? What's wrong? I said, if you're waiting on me to tell you what's wrong on social media, baby, you've been missed out. Because if I do talk about something wrong, by the time I put it up there, it's done. I'm good. I don't move past it. So
Mhm.
you all right? Because you watching my shit real close, right? If they in your outer circle, they don't need access to all your bullshit. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. Sean, I'm kicking back to you.
Now
Hey, Jason.
that's understandable. I had to cross my arms because I don't have a pen and a notepad, but yeah, we gonna have a little further conversation because you have awoken the psychologist in me, and I need to get to the root of that problem.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, no, I feel what you're saying, and I understand what you mean because no, everybody does not get 100% access all the time.
Nope.
No, but there are a few, a selective few, a few chosen, if you will, that do get that 100% all the time that you trust. Now, if you don't have those few, I understand that everybody doesn't have that, but you really should have that. Is my
Right.
feeling, my opinion. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to say that this is what you need. I'm just saying, in my opinion, you need to at least have at least one or two people that you can just lay everything on it, and you already know it ain't going nowhere, and nothing's going to happen with that. It stays with that person, and that's it.
So I will respond to that before I kick it back to Gypsy. The reason I don't, and I have a best friend right now who sometimes she struggles to understand this with me. One is part of my introvertedness. I don't want to talk all the fucking time. I just don't. You know, sometimes I'm okay being in your presence and we just be quiet, right? You on your phone, I'm on mine. I'm working, we watching TV. Don't matter, but I just don't want to talk all the time. Sometimes I don't want to participate in that energetic exchange. But also when I look at the spiritual aspect of it, and I've been talking about this the past few days actually with a couple of friends. When I look at the spiritual part of it, energy is everything. Bottom line for me, energy is everything. And I know how powerfully I feel things. I'm an intense energy. If I love, I love. If I don't like you, you don't fucking exist. There's not a lot of gray for me. I'm one side of the, so energy is everything. So when I start to talk about something that's bothering me, for me, it puts me back in that space. It puts me back in that moment. I feel it as if it's happening. We all do to some extent, but some of us more than others. So for me, if I know that it's not a thing that I want to perpetuate, or it's not a thing that I want to continue to re-experience or be with, I don't want to talk to you about it. I'm gonna give you the part that I need to give you in order for me to vent or release some of it, or woo-so, or get the love and the nurturing. Because I trust you. You in my my bodyguard circle, right? We want. They're gonna get that. But if it's not facilitating that, if it's this piece right here that ties into that broken or that weary or that tired or that exhaustion or that rage or that anger, we're going to go ahead and work through that over here with self and spirit and let that shit go, because that's the stuff that stops me from being an axe murderer. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know yourself well enough to know what you need and how to operate in the healthiest ways for yourself and other people. And my friend said it to me the other day. She said, Jay, I finally understand why every time we ask you how you doing and you say it's a good day, I ain't punched nobody in the throat. She said, I had that day today. I felt it. I said, see, there's something we don't talk about.
PSA, if you feel like that and you don't have nobody to talk to, go to a rage room, break some shit, get it off your chest.
Or axe throwing. Let me tell y'all something. Or the gun range, baby.
Oh, shit. Now you talking my shit.
Yep.
Listen, that's why I'm saying everything has its place. This is why I have guns. We can go to the gun range, indoor, outdoor. I prefer outdoor, and we can shoot it out. I love a good rage room. I love a good axe throwing room. And if you got nothing else, listen, babies, if all else fails, get in your car, turn your music up, drive down the highway or those backcountry roads, turn your music up and scream that shit out where can't nobody hear you.
That part.
You got to find your ways to get it out that don't involve you putting yourself back in the pain or the trauma, or continue to relive those moments, or psyching your brain into believing that you're still stuck in it. So I give the people what I need them to have to help me. And the rest of it, I just make a decision. Like, I'm going to feel what I need to feel, and we're going to let that shit go. And then if I need to go talk to my therapist about it, then I'm going to make that appointment too. I'm just not a big believer in continuing to re-injure ourselves emotionally, mentally, or spiritually by sharing things and talking about them all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but you also can get you some escorts, whatever you need to help you get through it.
Yeah, did you? Yep. I'm just going to co-sign that one and say, yep, because I am not angry about, listen, I'm a big fan of sexual freedom, and do what you do with your money and your time and your body as long as you choose to be safe with it, and it is consensual on both fucking sides.
That's why I said escorts, because once you pay them for their time,
Yeah. Jason said that's why I like PlayStation, Madden, or Call of Duty. Yes, you gotta have those things.
Damn, Jason, I'm gonna have to get back on my PlayStation. I got PS5 too. I'm gonna have to get back on so we can link up, play some Call of Duty.
Gypsy, what were you gonna say?
A lot of people don't understand that abuse can come from friends, it can come from family, but abuse isn't always physical.
Yeah.
Just because someone isn't putting their hands on you doesn't mean they're not being abusive to you.
Facts.
Emotional, mental.
Right. Abuse is about control.
Yeah.
And it's about like being disrespectful. If I tell you that bothers me and you still doing it,
Yeah.
then you don't care about me. Don't settle for emotional abuse just because it's not physical abuse.
Yeah.
Don't allow anybody to get it here. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing about physical abuse is those bruises are gonna heal. But those bruises here on the inside,
Who
Yeah.
knows?
they last a long, long time.
And going back to the people that we have to sometimes be willing to let go of. Listen, people sometimes want a front row seat to your pain
They sure
because it
do.
makes them feel better. And they will be the bestest friend you ever had in your life because that's the ticket price they're willing to pay to get access to your pain. That's why I said we got to trust that gut instinct, that inner wisdom, that spiritual wisdom, intuitiveness. I don't care what you call it, whatever, prayer, call it
Right.
what you call it. But you have to have a relationship with yourself and whatever you believe in outside of the individual people in your life. Because I done seen too many people play the long game. How many women have we known? And I'm just calling women out first. Men do it too. How many women have we known that said, shit, I'm gonna stick with him till his ass get that pension?
Right.
20, 30, 40 years. How many men have we known played a long game because that woman was gonna be the next CEO or open her restaurant or do whatever, right? Men get women pregnant on purpose, just like women get pregnant on purpose when they want to
That's
trap
right.
somebody. How many best friends have we known that plotted just so they could sleep with your husband when you was out of town on vacation with your mama and your sister? Or how many men have we known plotted to sleep with your woman when you was trapped? Like, people are trifling and they will give into their deepest
And
desires, their deepest lack, their deepest pain to do whatever they feel led to do without regard to how it hurts you,
which
based
would
on
be
where they
right.
operate in their own integrity. You know what I'm saying? So I still go back to quality. How do people treat you? And again, I use the example of women. How many women have we seen just something's off? She doesn't look well put together. And you can see her friends, girl, you the shit, baby. You looking like, I know they not looking at what I'm looking like, because that's enough. And you can instantly tell they don't really like her. And for some reason they want to bring her down a little bit. And I've seen men do it too. I don't pick that up as well because I'm not a man, but I have seen it where I can recognize, oh, they don't really like that dude.
Or if somebody is supportive and knowing that you out here cheating and he's condoning and covering up for you, but he always up in your woman's face, watch him.
Right.
Because more than likely than not, he's messing with your woman because he know you out there messing around.
Yep. And the same thing for family. That's sometimes a little bit harder for people to deal with because they don't want to let go of family. That's my family, man. Fuck your family too. I'm equal opportunity. Anybody can get it. Because oftentimes your family wants to see you fail so they can say, I remember I told you, or you was the black sheep, how dare you, or you wasn't gonna be shit because your mama wasn't shit and your daddy wasn't shit, and
Right.
whatever else may be the case, right? So all I'm saying is, people, listen to your intuition, listen to that instinct when it tells you that something's wrong on the radar. Listen to other people when they bring you warnings, if you feel like their warning is brought in integrity and justice. Don't take heed and take action on it just because you trust them, but take it in consideration as you inform your own decisions based on what you discern and what you pick up, because people are petty all the time just because they can be, just because they don't know no other way to be. And a lot of people, I'm just saying, a lot of people get caught up in that tit for tat bullshit, whether it's romantic, platonic, whether it's you pissed them off because you fucked their uncle in high school and you hurt his feelings. So now they finna have a baby with your cousin and say, fuck you. I done heard some of the craziest stories, y'all. I promise you. And I'm like, and you sat here and thought about this shit before you did it, didn't you? Like, yeah, you need therapy.
And I was about to ask you, like, damn, who uncle you fucked? But I forgot you approved, so that was just somebody telling you a story.
Oh, you are so funny. But you know, that's the thing, is hurt people, and sometimes
They do.
they hurt people in a manner that they think would hurt the most, because usually that's what would hurt them.
But if you got somebody that don't give a fuck, then fuck it.
Well,
fuck them with open-toed shoes, rocks, and glasses. What I say, baby. And
foul is foul.
It might hurt right now. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, trust me, if you got somebody acting like that, you are way better off without them.
Off without him. That's why I be tripping when folks be like, he cheated on me 5 years ago. Why the fuck is you still crying? Like,
Right.
girl, he
You still
saved
there?
you. He
You
saved
stayed.
you. Let him go.
You stayed. What did you think he was gonna do?
No, I'm saying when a person leave and they be like, he cheated on me 5 years ago and broke my heart. He left me for her. Baby, he saved you. Because ain't no telling what you still be putting up with y'all was together. Or dude, she saved you. Let her go hoe in peace. She saved you. You know what I'm saying? I just
Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna run into them and see the bullet you dodged.
Basically.
The bullet you dodged. I'm like, ooh, thank you, Lord, for saving me from that. Now, yeah, it hurt during the time, but love doesn't hurt.
people hurt.
People hurt. Love doesn't hurt. If it hurts, 9 times out of 10, it's not.
Yeah. Listen, it's hot as fuck in here because I got that love ritual running for my clients. So y'all ready to close this down because I'm over here sweating.
Yeah. You want me to
You got
close
a
it out
piece
with a
for
piece? Yep, I do.
And
And
Sean, I got you in the debrief. We could talk about my shenanigans and all my crazy for your psychology stuff.
hey, listen, get out of that window. And it's called Love Don't Hurt. Let me let them out because, yeah. Love don't hurt. Your mouth says, I love you 1,000 days. And your touch says, I hate you in so many ways. Your mouth says, I'll protect you from hurt, harm, and danger. But your touch says, I'll treat you like a common stranger. Your mouth says, I want to love, honor, and obey. Your touch says, you better do what I say. So many women listen to the words that are said, they to the heart instead of the head. I mean, love isn't supposed to hurt. He shouldn't treat you like you're lower than dirt. So many keep silent. No, they'll never tell because abuse often starts with a yell. It's subtle at first, just a raised voice and a harsh tone, then ranting and raving through the phone, then somehow trying to make it seem like it's your fault because he talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk. Hit me once, shame on you. That isn't what you're supposed to do. I mean, raise your hand because of something I said doesn't give you the right to go upside my head. Hit me twice, then shame on me because after time 1, that's when I should leave. Every time I think we're through, it's because of you. You go out all times of day and night saying, I'm the reason you aren't right. Had me questioning the me that I am, turning me from a flower into a clam. Home should be my safe haven from this cold, cruel world. Not where I feel dark like words spewed and hurled. I mean, when I look in your eyes, all I see is a cold, cruel demon staring at me. A person that I no longer know. A person that I just want to go. These are just some of the things that have been said by women who let abusers get into their heads. The problem with abuse is she'll never tell. She smiles on the outside, while inside, she yells. She hopes he'll find someone else and move on. Hopes one day she'll come back and he'll be gone. My sisters and brothers, this is about education of the secret lives in dark places. Domestic violence takes all shapes and forms, believe you me. And most scars you can never see. In her misguided search for affection, seeking some measure of internal perfection, scars on the inside not visible to the naked eye, but they may come out in a tear if you see her cry. Each tear is a step that starts from within, a stitch in a broken spirit on the mend, a little bolder as time goes on. Pretty soon, she will be strong. Strong enough to say, I won't let you do that to me now, because through God's grace, I made it somehow. He dusted me off, and I know my worth. Through God's love, I know now. Love doesn't hurt.
That
Yeah.
was that Tybo she took. She busted his lip, and he's like, "Oh shit."
But you know, that's the thing, is we've got to stop thinking of abuse as just physical, because it's also financial.
No, okay. So that's another discussion because
Yep.
I
We'll have to
I don't want to
take
get
that up on
into it,
another
but
day.
yeah, because abuse comes in many forms, many different languages. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that another time.
Absolutely. Until next time, y'all, we will see you next week. Y'all, same bat time, same bat channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go check out the replays. If you came in late, you missed a great discussion in our first hour with your boy Said and Dis. Go and check out your boy Said and Dis on their podcast right now.
They're on YouTube streaming live, and keep your eyes open and your ears peeled, because we are working on a little hot and spicy collab. Me and Stead are looking at the calendar right now to go together on a hot topic, and then we're gonna tag everybody in on a part 2 remix to it. So hopefully we'll have that up in the next week or so to get y'all to tune in and get y'all weighing in on some stuff that we've really been talking shit about on both podcasts. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. And lastly, I just want to say thank you for being a part of our audience, y'all. We genuinely appreciate you all.
Hell yeah. Tell your friends, share it, like, subscribe. You heard it.
Thank you, Jay. Better late than never. We appreciate you. We appreciate you all for coming by, and we will see you next week. Don't forget to drop your comments, drop your questions into our inbox or into the chat. We appreciate you. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Peace.